The woman's a cunt. You know what I mean? Sorry, she's a horrible, vile, twisted, bitter woman. I couldn't give two shits that she went through cancer, I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, cancer doesn't give you an excuse to be a shitty, horrible, vile, sadistic person. I'm sorry. I'm one of them people. I believe in tough love. I don't want anyone to go through them fucking things in life. No one deserves to go through that. But don't tell me, because I called you Emma No Hope, that you're trying to say that, oh my God, then I'm mocking your cancer. Grow up, man. Absolutely grow up. And another thing, right, remember this, the one woman I love more than life itself, I lost to fucking that. So I'd never ever mock that, ever at all. So you trying to fucking run with that fucking weird thing, but show the messages, Emma, because you put on that video me saying, Emma needs to stop with the cancer shit. Go on, show the rest of them messages, Emma. You blanked them all out, but you showed that one message. Show that. I'll give you permission to show that message there, all the messages, because of the rest of the messages there, you are saying that people are going at you for your cancer, and I said, yeah, they need to stop with the cancer shit, Emma. That's what it says. But yet again, you blanked all the messages out, but showed that one message which looks bad. Show them all. I'll give you permission. Show every single message on that thing. He wasn't directed at you. He was directed at the people that was targeting you because of your cancer. But yet again, Emma, your twisted mind and how you work, absolute bunch of weirdos, a lot of you. Show the messages. I'll give you all the fucking proof. I'll give you all the permission to show the messages. Show them. Don't blank them out. Show them. Because you know what? In the end, you're going to look like a psychopath and everyone's going to drag you across the app because you're a sadistic, weird person. Emma Hope, do you know what it is? Emma Hope used to be around my platform, and then her and her friend concocted up a massive story that I was talking to this woman in an actual manner. She was vulnerable. It's a load of bullshit. Absolutely load of bullshit. It was proven. The messages got all outed. It was just a load of bullshit yet again. They tried to ruin my life on this app a long, long time ago. A lot of them did. There's loads of people that tried to, come for me for some reason. Fuck knows. Thank you, Baguette. They all need to get a grip with themselves, Yeah, she's a fucking idiot. And the only reason she's on Canadian Angie, she loves Canadian Angie speaks about me. And she just, because Canadian Angie slates me. But you see how the tables turned last night? Canadian Angie was saying, oh yeah, these people mocking cancer, and then obviously Corey jumped up, and then obviously Snow jumped up, and no one was talking about cancer. What are you on about, you deluded people? I had a message, I'm not going to say off her, because I'm not going to give her any grief. I had a message saying, Alex, that woman deserves an apology, calling her no hope. What the fuck? It was just a play on words. You know what I mean? Like if someone's name was Steve Jobs, I'd say Steve No Jobs. Fucking hell, Emma Hope, no hope. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's mad. Nana Banana, you okay, Donna? Like in what way was it? Honestly, Baguette, it was mad you was in that live. No one spoke on the cancer. Do you want to know the truth, guys? These people was talking about people's kids off the app. That's what was the conversation. Emma Hope and then Nick and all this stuff was talking about people's kids off the app. Sick, you know what I mean? Sick bastards. That's what the conversation was. So I don't know why she put a video out there about cancer. Weird. Fucking weird. Amy, thank you, Gillian. Morning, Miss T. Morning, Hazel. Morning, Narissa. That's what I mean. Everyone just wants to, play on stuff and twist things. It happens every single day on this app, I am straight-laced, If you come to me with a situation, I'll tell you exactly how it played out, regardless if I'm looking like a twat, because I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, okay, made a mistake, it is what it is. I can't change it. I've made a mistake. I'm holding my hands up. Well, last night, the fucking Canadian one, she's fucking nuts, she is. That woman is so deluded when she's saying about, oh yeah, I'm going to put this out, I'm going to say this about EQ and that, and I'm thinking, I'm like, are you deluded in the head? You can't go at Evil Queen. You can't, because you know why you can't go at her? Because when everyone was at war with Evil Queen, you was there backing her, even when some of the sickest stuff was said. EQ was saying that herself. She said some absolutely messed up stuff. Some of the worst stuff I've ever heard on the app. Not off the app. I've heard some fucked up shit off the app, but on the app, it's probably some of the worst shit I've ever heard. And yet you supported it and saying, big up Queenie and all this stuff. You can't say nothing. I'm sorry, she cannot say nothing. She's honestly, the woman is delusional. Absolutely delusional. You know, I was watching it last night and I was thinking, this woman, do you know what it is? Have a line. What do you mean, champ? Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Donna. Do you know what happened last night? Listen. She was there and she was going on a mad one. I messaged Corey because he was in the box, and I said to Corey, get me in, because when I was getting slated, I was going to drop the bomb. I was going to get in that box and drop bombs after bombs of truth, and she would have not been able to handle it. That's the truth, you know. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you for the populace. She would have not been able to handle it because I would have put everything on her toes like I always do, and she would have gone, oh no. And when she says about, I'm going to drag them, I'm going to stand on business and all that stuff, you're not standing on shit. You're not standing on shit. Do you know why you're not standing on shit, Canadian Angie? Because you had an opportunity. You was in boxes with everyone, and you sat there like a little lost puppy and didn't give any energy to nobody. Because you went about it, because power is your platform, and you think that because you've got so many people around you over night time that are not your community, don't get it twisted. Because we was all live the one day, and you had 200 people in your live. So just remember, like just because you got like 2K in over night time, if EQ, me, Donna, Luke, or Corey, or anyone else is alive, or Delusive Andrew, you got no audience. You've got a couple hundred people, and 200 people is still a lot of people, don't get it twisted, but it's not your usual. You know what I mean? Dreamcatcher, thank you. Did Corey defend you? Yeah, Corey just said the facts about the situation. But at the end of the day, like I said, like, people can have an opinion on all the shit that's going on. But I just hope you keep the same energy, remember, guys. Like, I like people for certain reasons, you know? Like, I'm not one of them people to sit on the fence and say, you know what, I'm going to sit on the fence and like everybody because it suits TikTok. You know what I mean? Because it suits TikTok, I'm just going to sit on the fence and let everybody, you know, go at each other, and I'm going to sit in everyone's pocket. That'll never be me. If there's a situation I dislike, I'll say I don't like it. However, I like the person, but I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? I'll always call it out, because at the end of the day, what's the point? What's the point of sitting there? Energy. I like Corey for his honesty. Shady B, do you know what the thing is, right? Like I said last night, I didn't agree. I didn't know the severity of what was going on until I got sent a screenshot, and then I seen the dance situation with Corey's sister and all that stuff. Didn't like it. I thought it was wrong. Remember, everyone used to drag Pearl for that. Remember when Pearl got dragged for bringing Zach's dad onto the platform? You know what I mean? And I didn't agree with that, regardless if I like Dan or not. Like, for me, that was fucked up and that was way too far. You know what I mean? All that situation, I don't agree with at all. That shit was proper fucked up. And all you need to also understand is, when you're online and you're shouting, screaming, but he beat your mother up and all that stuff, and I'm like, fucked up. You know, you don't know what you're watching. Like, there could be people in that comment section that could be a massive trigger, and because you're trying to score points, I know, like, Dan will go low, and I know Corey will go low, but there has to be a limit. There's got to be a limit when you're bringing innocent family members into it. You know, you've got to say no. Slag each other off for whatever's going on, or do what you need to do in lives, but don't bring families onto it or innocent people. You know what I mean? Alison, Jess. It was disgusting, because for me, I'll tell you for a fact now, if Angie's sister messaged me and said, can I use your platform to go Angie, I'd say no. And that is a fact. There'd be other people that would say yeah. But if Delusive Angie's sister messaged me and said, Alex, can I use your platform, I'd say no to her. Do you know what I mean? I'd say no, and that's honestly what I would, because when it comes to families and stuff like that, it doesn't need to be that way for me, you know. So it's as simple as that. Come on, Corey can't moan, he drags Leah. But the thing is, mate, like, has he got anyone's family on the platform? You know what I mean? The people are going to have people are going to have are going to agree to disagree, and that's fine. You know what I mean? So, but as Angie did that to Corey, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Has Angie done that to Corey? Gemma, thank you. Stace. Yeah, it was just Corey's sister in the box. What's this team about? What do you mean, Daniel? What's the team about? Solis, Tracy, thank you. One Corey can go low though. Yeah, but you know, this is where this is where I understand TikTok, right? You obviously, if you support Dan, you're gonna agree with what went on last night, and if you're against Dan, you're gonna disagree, and that's cool, you know. At the end of the day, like I've told you the other day, I like Dan. I think he's funny. I like some of the stuff that he does. I think he's sound, but I'm never always going to agree with what people do. Stuff that Corey does, Corey knows I disagree with it, and I'll say to him I don't like it. You know what I mean? I'll say to him. But at the end of the day, you got to keep the same energy. I'm sorry, you need to keep the same energy. You need to stop that shit. You know what I mean? You need to stop that shit. You really do need to stop the shit. Because at the end of the day, how can we ever move on an app and progress when everyone's dragging up the thing that happened before and said, but this person's done this, but this person's done that. Let's talk about the task at hand. Let's talk about what's just gone on. Instead of bringing up the past and saying, you know what, this has happened. We could do that all day. You know what I mean? We could do that all day. This is the situation now, right? Someone's just said, why is Corey going for Donna? Right? How can you compare, right? Let me tell you now, right? And this is where people need to stop going off on another situation. Let me tell you now, right? If I'm saying to you, I disagree, right, about the dance situation of bringing Corey's sister onto the app and then screaming and shouting about, oh, but he beat your mother up and all this stuff. If I'm saying I disagree with that, what's got to do with Donna? Because you're not helping a situation. You know what I mean? You're not helping the situation, because now, when you're saying, but look what he does to Donna, you brought Donna's name into the equation now. You know what I mean? Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Lucky. Do you actually know what I'm saying now? Because you're saying about and you're trying to stand up for Donna, you've now just brought Donna's name into the equation now. And that's wrong, because it's got nothing to do with Misread. We're talking about a totally different situation. We're talking about a drama between Dan and Corey. Thank you, Remy. How you doing? Piss poor again. You okay? Brother, come on, Alex. Corey has tried to get other people's families on the app before. But this is the situation. And if that happened, I would say to Corey that was wrong. You know what I mean? If Corey got people's family on an app and to do what he needed to do, I'd call it out and said it was wrong. Boss lady. I'm just keeping the exact same energy. So, no, I think people are going to Corey because how he treats others and goes, Jolo, that's fine. You know, if you've just started to not watch someone because you disagree with them, that is fine, mate. Honestly, like I said, this is not about sticking up for one or the other. But you need to understand is, if you're going to have an argument or you're going to think, you know what, this person's standing up for someone I like, you have to also be honest about the situation. You know, it's mad. Because it seems to me when everyone's mindset goes off and then says, you know what, let's not agree with that, but let's agree with this. And I'm thinking, well, then you become fake. You don't become your real self because you're bowing down to TikTok, innit? But you don't think they're as bad as each other. Oh, Queen Blessings, I've said that myself. When them two want to go at each other, you know, they'll go at each other, and that's Sam. You know what I mean? I just didn't agree with the family situation. You know? It was like back in the day with the Pearl situation with, the Zach the Brat. You know, everyone dragged her for it, didn't they? You know, everyone dragged Pearl for it. And all I'm saying is, have the same energy. You was all supporting Pearl over the back of her getting dragged for it, you know what I mean? Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Shin. So, it's a car crash. CA and Corey found. Brother, this is what I mean. You're literally going off onto a whole different subject now. And this is the problem, innit? When you start going off onto things and you're trying to then blame someone that's had something wrong done to them and try and blame them for it, you become as bad as the culprit. You know what I mean? Dina, thank you, Tracy. It's mad. It's, you know, this is what always puzzles me on the app. You can support someone and disagree with them, you know. You know what I mean? Andrew trying to find, Corey trying to find. But this is what I mean. This is where you literally go off. Instead of saying something's wrong, you don't agree with it. You are saying, yes, it's acceptable because he's tried to do it to someone else. It doesn't work that way, you know, in life. Hayley, thank you, patience. It's wrong and that's it. Exactly that, Lauren. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. It's wrong. It shouldn't have happened. You can still support the people. You can still love the people that you love. But you know what? You still have to have the same energy. That's all it is. You know? If Dan said, you know what, I shouldn't have got Corey's sister on the app. He was wrong of me. People move on. No problem at all. You know what I mean? Accountability has been made. And then everyone can, you know, move on. Thank you, Hayley. But as soon as you jump up and start saying, oh, no, it's fine and all that stuff, well, you're just as bad, aren't you? You're just as bad. So, Hayley, thank you. Are you alright, Tracy? Paula, thank you, Irish girl. I hope you're all okay. The same sister like Angie got. Yeah, it is. But the situation, is it was the whole conversation. It was a bit fucked up, you know. I ain't gonna lie. It was the way that the shouting was and saying, yeah, but he hit your mother, and it's like you're point scoring about something so serious now. Julie 29, forever my boy. Like, there's so many things you could go at Corey for and mention him, that stuff you don't agree with. But for me, to watch that, I was thinking, fucking hell, man, it's just a bit too much, isn't it? Wait, he got her sister on for real. Yeah. Yeah. I can't watch them, it's out of hand. So what did the sister say? Well, from the screen recording that I got, I think Dan said he spoke to Corey's sister. And Corey's sister said, I haven't spoke to him. So he jumped into the box. She jumped into the box or something. And then he mentioned saying about him hitting the mother and all that stuff. So thank you, Michelle Moons Nows. Brother, thank you. Thank you, Papa Blaze. When did that happen? No, I've seen no screen recording. Last night. I think was it Spitting Facts I've got the recording of? It might be Spitting Facts, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it might be Spitting Facts that I've got the recording of. I never seen any of that. Yeah, and like I said, if you hadn't seen it, it is, you know what I mean? Also, the sister was defending Corey. Yeah. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, it just don't need to happen, innit? It just doesn't need to happen. Like I said, I think Dan's sound. I like Dan. Do you know, I didn't used to like him, but I think, you know what? He's actually a true friend to Pearl. And speaking to him as well. I spoke to Dan, when was it now? I think it was about a week or so ago when all the thing was kicking off with me and Top Gun and all that stuff. And then it kicked off with Dan, and I spoke to Dan on the phone. And Dan said, you know, we had a little brief conversation. And you could tell the way he was talking about Pearl that he genuinely cares for her. You know what I mean? And I thought in that instance, you know, it's nice. It was nice that Pearl's got someone like that on the side. Regardless of me and Pearl are talking or not. You know what I mean? So, like I said, but in the next breath, like I said, just because I like Dan, if Dan does something wrong, and I'm pretty sure if I'd done something wrong, Dan would say, you know what, I disagree with it. You know? It doesn't mean there's going to be a big, massive back and forth and wars and all this stuff. Because regardless of what happens, I don't think anyone wants that, you know, with anyone on the app, you know. Because, like I said, in my mindset at the moment, like, my mental health is perfect, and my mental game would be absolutely critical. It'd be disgusting as well, because what I've seen on the app in the last fucking 48 hours is people putting on a front, but behind the eyes, I know that there is someone that's very fragile. There's multiple creators that are playing this the part as well. You know what I mean? And in due course, that will come out. You can see it. Thank you for the populace, guys. Thank you for the army. Sorry if I've missed anyone. You know, when I go on a bit of a talk and a bit of a rant. Thank you, Ems. I go on one of them situations, don't I? You know what it's like. Corey's sister asked him to get in AR's box because she likes him, and Corey got AR in the box for her. I was that last night. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you all. Morning. Danielle, good morning. Leanne, thank you. I think Alex agrees, but then getting families involved is different. Yeah, this is what I mean, Arlene. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not a fence sitter. Remember that. I'll never be that person to sit on the fence. Like I said, there'll be situations on the app that I disagree with. Don't you think there's situations that Corey's done that are fucking is wrong and that, you know? And I'll say, you know, that's, I don't agree with it. It's wrong. But it doesn't still change the fact is that, you know, I still like a person. Same with Dan. You know, I'm not going to come on here and just rip Dan to shreds. I think it's disgusting what he's done, personally, myself. But you know what? If he went to live today and said, you know what, I shouldn't have got his sister involved, I'm going to hold my fucking hands up, then accountability's been met then, and then, you know, people can move on if they choose to. You know what I mean? Oh, Amanda, happy birthday, mate. Luke, thank you. Ginty. Because remember, regardless of what, if you like Corey or not, remember, that's Corey's trauma. I know Corey is his worst enemy at times. Let me tell you now, I know Corey can be his worst enemy. But at the end of the day, oh, Dan's in the box. Let me get Dan in, because I'm, you know.
Good morning.
Morning, Daniel.
Morning, everyone. So, it's just been shared to me, so just to throw a bit of light on it, onto what happened last night. So, as Corey was trying to dox Luke, I went, oh yeah, I've spoken to this person, spoken to that person. We all knew I didn't. So then he went, right, I'm ringing them. Next minute, she's come into my live and got in my box. So yeah, then I did start going at her, and then she went back over with the other sister, I forgot her name now, and then went back over to Corey's. He was the one that had them in the box.
Do you know what it is, Dan? The one thing for me was the fact is, you know, when you kept repeating and going shouting at her, saying about we hit your mum, you beat your mum up and all that stuff. And I was thinking, that whole situation's someone's trauma, you know what I mean? And
so
everyone
the
gets
thing
dragged.
is, just let me say this part. No, normally, I wouldn't go too far with someone. You know what my comebacks are like? They're normally comical. Now, last week, when I had my little mentee bee, that was due to it coming up to 2 years since I was SA'd.
Yeah.
Now, Corey was cam-2ing me, and he was smugly laughing. He was talking about it. He threw it in my face for 3 whole days. That's why I said I will go as low as you now. So that's why I've done and said what I've done. Oh, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. The thing is, like, no one on this. The thing is, when that was mentioned, someone mentioned that yesterday about that. I wait for Dan to come back because I want to hear his response. Someone mentioned that to me about like him mocking his grape and that. And then Corey said, "I want to see screenshots of this because it didn't happen, and nothing was provided apparently." But I don't know. You know, I don't know because I haven't seen it. But apparently, a screenshot was meant to be getting sent, so I don't even know about that.
Meet Joey's in the bad book, so delivery of flowers have just turned up.
Oh.
So that's why, and I've said, because I don't like going low as much as the rest of them. I like to just have a laugh on here. Like, yeah, we all get involved in drama, but the one thing that sticks out more than him throwing it in my face is when I was crying on live, is him sat there and he had the smuggest look on his face I've ever seen. And that's why I said no one will stop me now, because people have contacted me in the past, mutual friends, and said, come on, just leave it. He got Talia to ring me the other night and said, come on, he's in a bad place. The day after, not even 12 hours after, he was on at me again. So for me, it's kind of like I've said to my lot, just stay out of it. There's one thing, when 2 gay men are going at one another, nobody can come in between. It's pointless because we'll just carry on and on and on. And then one day we might decide to be friends, but it'll be a very long time. But I think for me, I don't like going low, but on this instance, I really don't care with him, Alex.
The thing is, Dan, like I said, there's load for me, and that, like I said, it doesn't change the factors that I speak to, and I've even said when it was all kicking off the other day, even though like Corey was in my life, I said I like Dan. You know, I think he's sound. I said I don't agree with sometimes the stuff that you say because you do go a little bit low, but that's cool. Off the app, mate, I'd be the same. I ain't gonna lie. But when there's people in my life that I know that have probably been through certain things, I just know that I'm gonna have to kind of calm my mouth down because I know for a fact it's always gonna come back on me. You know, I'm gonna lie the bad guy all the time. But with the whole situation with the mum, like, there's loads of things you could go at Corey for. Fucking hell, there's no way. But
So he showed a picture of a man last night, just a random man, and told everyone that was my dad, and he was a convicted child assayer. I mean, obviously it weren't my dad. That's what I mean. So with him, I just feel like me and him are just going to there's going to be no levels that we'll go to because what he does and what I've always said on here, where people throw that gauntlet is where I'll match. So he's mentioned my family, he's mentioned me countless times and my parents giving me up. So it's just going to be like this, unfortunately, because as low as he goes, I'll go, and as low as I go, he goes.
Do you know the one thing for me, Dan, and I will be totally honest, the one thing that upset the whole situation that shocked me was the fact is when the sister said, like, she was clueless really to a lot of the stuff she goes about, you know, the mum situation. Then you went, I'm going to make your life hell. You know, to the sister, and I'm thinking the sister's got nothing to do with this shit. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I thought. You know what? That's when you bring in an innocent.
Yeah, more in the sense of not her directly, but obviously indirectly her. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it was his sister. Me, it was an account where it just changed its name and kept getting the details wrong. But
I know his sister. That was his sister, mate. That was his sister. That was 100% his sister. I know you're going to say you might think that it wasn't, but that 100% was his sister. 100%.
But either way, it is what it is. He said the worst about me. I've said the worst about him. Where does it end? I don't know. But
that's the thing, Dan. If you just said if you and Corey was having a massive going at each other and going low and all that stuff, I'd be like, you know what? These two are just going to keep going at it. I would never even said boo to a goose because I thought, you know what? Yous are grown ass men. You can have arguments. You know, I know this shit happens on the app. I argue with fucking everyone on the app, so I ain't going to be a hypocrite. I just didn't like the whole situation because it was the whole point was, and then when it was going on, I think this is getting a little bit low from the screen recording I got, and then all of a sudden you've gone, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be your worst nightmare. I'm going to make your lives hell. And I was thinking, what the fuck? This woman's done nothing. Corey, you can say whatever you want about him, but you know, I mean, that's up to you. But when the
same when he brings people in, though, you know full well he always brings other people in. He's tried to drag multiple people in. His sister got mentioned yesterday because he rang her, he gave her my username, and she came into mine. I didn't go for her. I wouldn't have known her username. I wouldn't have even known her. I was winding him up, and I was trying to get him to deflect from trying to dox Luke, if anything. And then I said, watch him. On mine, we were all sat laughing. There was never anything thingy with it, and then she come in and she got in my box. She requested it.
Yeah, I think it was down to the point. I think it was because of you was saying to her that you spoke to her or something along them lines. Is the reason she got in the box or something? That's as far as I
so
make out.
In that context as well, that's because I was cam-toing Corey and then he was cam-toing me. So we're going back and forth. That's why. And I said, watch him now, watch him. So, but again, for me, I've got no issue with his family whatsoever. It's just I'm going for his weak spot the same as he's done with me.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's plenty of other things, Dan. Like I said, trust me, I know. Like I speak to Corey. Corey's not innocent in a lot of things that he does on the app, you know. And I said to him last night. I said to him, and he's saying, but this happened. I said, mate, you are not innocent. You know, I'll have a conversation with him and say to him, you're not innocent in things that happen as well, mate. You need to understand that.
That's it. It's like Joey's dragged Joey now for the past week, near enough week, and he's innocent. Like it's just always going to be 6 to 1 and half a dozen the other. I said to him the other day, I said to Talia when she rang me, tell him if he comes on and apologises to me, and I'd apologise as well. And he's told me numerous times to go and F myself, and that's it. And then comes on going, I wave a white flag. I'd had the conversation, and then I said, right, we'll see what's what come the morning, because I've done this before. I've left it with him, and then not 24 hours, it started. So we had the conversation that night, and then come the morning time, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever, it's starting again.
Yeah, and I'll get that. Like I said, if people are going at each other and someone's trying to, you know, poke the bear, I understand. but there has to be a limit. You know what I mean? Where you think to yourself, like bringing an innocent, you know, family member into it, and then you know, because even though you're saying, but yeah, she was in my life and stuff, you saying to him that you know that you'd spoke to her and that is gonna, you know, spark a response, which would be going, look, I ain't been speaking to you. You know, that's what happens. It's life.
Well, for me, like I say, I literally do not mention him first. Every time I've mentioned him, the live's been shared to me. And people know the screen recording's there. I set off, I never ever had an issue with him, me. And he's just continuously gone at me. For no reason. I used to try and be nice. I used to say to everyone when people had asked me to get on with him, I used to go in and gift him and everything. I lost my account through calling him a Kent because he didn't realise I'd sent him a glove and a fucking gift in one of his battles. And it's just all little things like that. We're never going to get on. If he wants to leave me alone, then that's fine. I'll leave him alone.
And do you want to have a conversation with him off the app or not? Are you open to a conversation with him?
I've had multiple, not with him, but I will speak to him, yes. But
do you think
again,
you two, listen, I'm done with him. I think the guy's a scumbag. I'm done with him, right? So I'm done with him after trying to look through his phone. What sort of friend at a funeral takes a picture of someone's number plate and wants to show my number plate? Like, I'm done. But for you two, because you're going to go low, you're going to go deep on each other, and Alex is right, you are going to go, it's going to get worse. Do you not think you should get on a phone call? And like, I don't listen. I don't give a shit what you do, but it's both for your mental healths.
Mm.
Would you be open to speaking to him?
I would speak to him, yes, but
Right.
we'll see.
Do you not think
what's
that's a step in the right way, Alex?
But that depends if they're both willing to, in my eyes. Like, at the end of the day, it's up to Dan, it's up to Corey. I don't know if Corey will, but at the end of the day, like I said, it'd be if Corey says that, you know what, he'll have a brief conversation with people in there so it can't be twisted and lied, you know what I mean? Because
I think you should go into it with him, Alex.
One-on-one conversation, they could both go off the app and said, "Oh, he said this to me."
Well, I think you're neutral, Alex. So I think you should be in the just you three.
Then this is the situation. Like I said, I don't want to be on this app every day and argue with people, regardless of being you had an argument or disagreement yesterday, Luke. Right? I don't want to come on this app every day. I want to chill with my community, have a laugh. You know what I mean? That's the situation I'm in now. And people saying that people are going to be my downfall. Let me tell you now, I'll be my own downfall in the end.
No one. Listen, everybody's responsible.
Courtney, we've seen your comments 3 times.
Nobody's Alex. No one. Do you know the only people responsible for people's downfalls is themselves? So that's a load of bollocks.
Downfall on this app at the end of the day. If I choose to go that way, no one's going to bring me down. Because let me tell you now, not one person on this fucking app that's a friend of me can come on this app and slag me off. Do you know why? Because I've done fuck all to any of them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Alex, it's the same with me. If they had something to slag you off about, they'd have done it by now. So yeah, I think that's bollocks. I don't listen to that shit. Like, because like if people had anything on you, you've been doing your thing for a year now. I've been doing my thing for a year and a half. If anybody had anything on you, Alex, it would have been out by now.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Like I said, where it comes to, regardless if people disagree what happened yesterday in Donna's box, like at the end of the day, whatever I did come from a good place, and it's as simple as that. And if people,
I've already said you were right about that. I shouldn't have brought it to Donna. I've already said, so I don't need to go on.
I don't know what's going on with him. But let me tell you now, like I said, the people that are going to support people are going to agree. And I understand that because I know TikTok, like people that love Dan are going to agree with what Dan done. People that love Corey are going to call Dan a sicko, vice versa. That's just how the app is, you know, that we know that. I'm coming from a perspective now where I just think certain things don't need to happen. If you're going to argue like men, have an argument, say, go low actually, call each other the weirdest things. It's up to you. I don't give 2 fucks.
I don't want to engage in a back and forth with Cordy because for me that will get nasty. But to take at someone's funeral, to take a picture of someone's license plate and then try and dox it, that's disgusting. Like, he's a scumbag. I'll never speak to him again. Like, why would you try and dox my license plate? Why would you even take a picture of my license plate?
Yeah, but Luke, this. If you want me to be totally honest, like, you knew about this for ages, so why now mention it now? I don't get it.
I never knew. Excuse me. Are you telling me I knew he took a picture of my license plate?
No.
Are you mad?
Didn't you mention it on the live before? Didn't he mention it on the live before?
Never. I never. No, never. I never knew he had my fucking picture of my license. Are you mad?
He was live mentioning saying Luke the Judge is
Alex, I'm just
fucking
Alex, I'm just about to set off on the canter, my man. I'm just about to set off up here, so I'll speak to you later because I don't want to get killed. Bye.
Yeah, all right. See, Alex, you're very biased. I'm not biased. People think I'm biased. I'm not. I'm a fact speaker, and people don't like the fact. It's the truth. I'm not being funny, and I keep saying about people saying, "Oh my God, you're mentioning this now." Well, okay, but you was friends with the person at the time, and it wasn't a problem. But now you fell out. It's a problem, and this happens too much on the app. If you heard someone say on a private phone call that someone had done something or said something disgusting, and then you go live, and now when you fall out, you was happy with them at the time, and you thought it was acceptable, but you didn't call it out. But now you're not friends with them, it's wrong, and you call it out. That's the truth. It's a fact. I'm a fact speaker, and you all walk around the app saying, "Oh no, Alex is biased." I'm not biased. Let me tell you now. If Corey done this fuck shit that to Dan and bought Dan's abuser on the app last night, I'd be saying to Corey's fucking wrong. He's disgusting. It's not about sides here. It's about right and wrong. You know what I mean? And then from what I remember, Corey was mentioning about Luke's number plate way before about he's got Luke the Judge, the number plate, and all this stuff. So from my knowledge, he already knew anyway. I don't understand. So that's just my opinion.
Drop down. I need to take a call.
Yeah.
Right, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
And you know what? This is what I mean. And this is why people come at me and they go, "Oh, but Alex, you're being biased." I am not biased in the slightest. Let me tell you now. You know, and you will always be biased to an extent when it comes to friends. But when you're friends with multiple people, you can't become biased then. Remember that. If you're friends with multiple people, you can never, ever, ever become biased because then you're swaying over to one side. Like I said, I'll speak facts. If you want to listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. It's as simple as that. I've said it before when it was the Levi thing, the Sophie situation, and this and that, and this and that. If you, at that time, accepted someone's behaviour and how they spoke, at a later date, you can't use that as a weapon and start saying it's disgusting. Same with Canadian Angie now saying about EQ mentioning kids. You knew all about that. You literally allowed it on your platform. You supported it. So you can't now go at Evil Queen and say, "Oh, Evil Queen, that's disgusting. You was talking about kids. You were wronging." Because at the time, you supported it and you thought it was acceptable. You gifted as well. So this is what I mean. You are all using weapons to suit your fucking narratives. And that's all your problem. That ain't my problem. You know? You're not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. People will only think I'm wrong that are friends with someone that I'm talking on. Because I speak, he knew about the photo plate, but not the photo. Well, if that's the case, then obviously then I know. But I do remember a lot of talk about the number plate. That's what I remember. You know, I didn't see any pictures. I ain't gonna lie, so I'm not gonna lie to anyone. But however, I presume that he would have showed it if he was mentioning it. So I don't know. So I'm very fair and diplomatic. Do you know what it is? I'm just a person, you know, that wants right from this side of TikTok. We're on Drama Talk, but we also have to agree to disagree on certain things as well. You fucking, I guess it is the photo. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I remember it getting mentioned a few times, so I presume if Corey was mentioning it, he would, if he had took a photo, then he'd show it. So that was just, you know, that's the thing that I took from it. Corey said last night he sent it to someone as well. Who? He was never mentioned. He was mentioned, but okay. So that bit's cleared up now. You know, that bit's cleared up. You know what I mean? So Corey acts very true. The thing is, just a small town girl. Like I said, everyone's entitled to having an opinion there. Everyone is entitled to have an opinion if they agree with something or that they disagree with something. That's cool, you know. That is fine. But at the end of the day, there's going to be rights and wrongs. You know, Cat 71, Corey's showing his true colours. But that's, like I said, Cat, that's your opinion, mate. Like I said, if you know, if you don't want to watch Corey no longer or whatever, that is fine, you know. Like, this isn't about who you like and who you dislike. This is about, you know, a situation that happened last night. I didn't agree with it, and for me, it's done and dusted. If they can have an adult conversation and put it to bed, then that's for the greater good, isn't it? You know, if two adult men today can sort of kind of, you know, or just agree to just move on from the situation, then that's perfect, isn't it? That is perfect. Chantal, thank you guys. I block Corey. He's moving mad. Cool lady, that's cool, mate. You know, that's cool. Yeah, I was about to say that. I agree, to be honest. And normally I'd say if I didn't agree. Exactly, Stace. You know what I mean? You'd be definitely one of them people. That's what I mean. Stacey is a friend of mine and a mod in this live. She has disagreed with me so much on this app. Everyone knows this. And even if she agrees, then you know I'm right. Let me tell you now. Because she'd be the first to say that, Alex, I don't agree with you. Same with Carmel. Same with fucking Kelly. These people will tell me straight away that they disagree. You know what I mean? So, I love Corey, but he's so predictable. He sees a kindness for weakness. Alex, I think you should just stay out of it. Everyone said that. Everyone said to me, you know, Alex, you should stay out of it, you know, because at the end of the day. But you know what it is? For me, if I can change something, and if I feel that, you know, I can make things right between people, I'll try it, you know? Because that'd make me a shitty friend. You know what I mean? That would make me a shitty friend if I could nip something in the bud between people. And I didn't do it. Morning, Claire Bear. Morning, everyone. I'm not going to get roped into anything, you know what I mean? I appreciate everyone looking out for me, don't you know what I mean? I really do appreciate you all looking out for me. You can't know. Amanda, don't be too sure, you know, mate. Don't be too sure. You know, but you just wouldn't know this, but I've rectified a lot of beefs that have happened on this app. You know, there's been a lot of people that used to come to me and say, Alex, you're friends with this person. Can you get this situation sorted out? And that's why you've said, oh, I wonder why that beef stopped. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why the beef stopped. Because of me. You know what I mean? That's the truth. The drama stopped because of me. Because I had conversations with people and said, you know what? You two just need to nip it in the bud. You know, be like adults and just, if you want to hash it out, I'll be on the phone call with you, hash it out and move on. Because I don't want to be on here every day talking about fucking traumas, people getting raped, people's kids and all that stuff. I don't want to hear about it, to be honest with you, because it makes it uncomfortable. You know, it's very, very odd. Susie, thank you, Amanda. Sorry, guys, if I missed any of yours. More next thing. I'm all right, lads, mate. I'm all good. Agony Alex is the peacemaker. Believe it or not, just because I come on an app and I go on a mad one and that, because like I said, when people are on a live and lying and I know they're lying and I'm thinking, use like a fucking div. So what I'll do is I'll cam to and call out the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because remember, I was there. I know exactly what happened. You know, but I don't want to be every day talking about arguing and stuff, mate. It's wrong. You've said that for a while, Alex, and I agree. It's horrible to hear. Yeah, it's true, man. Everyone's talking about grape and shit like that on a daily basis. It's fucking weird. But Dad's just said himself, don't come between the gay men arguing because they won't stop. But like I said, if I feel that, you know, Gossip Queen OG, if I think that I can do a little bit of right here and stop people talking about shit like that on the app, then I'll do it, you know. G, and then obviously if I hate that kind of chat as well. It's true, Millsy. And at the end of the day, and if I do try and, you know, make peace between the two, they're not going to be friends probably. But if I can try and make a little bit of, you know, leeway where grape and traumas and all this stuff ain't being mentioned, right, on a daily basis, then I will. And then afterwards, if I do that and it continues, then I'll be like, you know, fuck yous all. Thank you, ACAR. I'll be like, fuck yous all then. I've tried to help yous out. Don't come crying to me when it all goes wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I'll say. I'll say, you know what? If it all goes wrong, fuck yous all. Leave me out of it because I ain't getting involved. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Stacey. Couch tapping, guys. But yeah, thank you guys for all the fucking... Thank you, Ali. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the taps and all the populars as well, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Louise, thank you. But like I said, you know, people will say, Alex, you're being biased. I'm always going to be biased to friends, but when you're friends with everyone, in arguments. It's hard, you know. It's hard. I've got loyalty to a certain side, obviously. You know, and everything on the app. But like I said, I was getting dragged yesterday for yesterday. What happened? You know. But yeah, like I said, people can have their opinion on that. You know, the people that have the opinions are the people that dislike me anyway, so they're never going to agree anyway. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, a little blend. It's not Scottish. Yeah, of course. Tracy, Jeanette, thank you. Do you know what it is as well? The shit that I get on this app for being true to myself is mad. Let me tell you now, it's fucking wild. Because I'll stay true to myself and try and build a community and all this stuff, I get dragged. Absolutely fucking dragged. Made out to be a wrong'un and all this stuff. Usually I'm delusional. Shaolin. Big up, Ali, thank you. The app is wild, man. They don't like the truth. That is the facts. Crazy Welsh, because every bastard on this app is in here for an agenda. And I'm one of the people that actually isn't. You know? I don't give a shit about, you know, like, the views and all this stuff. People think that I do. I couldn't give two fucks about the views. If that was the case, if you remember back in the day when I was doing my FYP and Chippy was live, I was telling people to go over and watch Chippy as well. And if someone else was live, I was saying, guys, this person's live, why don't you go out, if you want to go and watch them as well, please go and watch them. It isn't about that, guys, because the people that want to be in my live are going to be in my live regardless. Morning, Jojo, mate. Good morning, everyone. You need to understand is, if a person wants to be in someone's live, they're going to be in the live anyway, but I've tried to help people out in the past as well. You know, this is anti-bullying week, power for good. Exactly, if I'm trying to rectify an argument, you know. I'll never understand how all of a sudden people love Eva Queen. Right, gee, that's up to them, innit? You know what I mean? I understand why certain people, and that's maybe me, people say that's you being biased. No, it's just my opinion. I know the reasons why, because off the app I speak to people. I know why certain people have done it, and you know, and it's better for them. But, you know, it's up to them, and it's up to people. In life, we have choices. We all make choices. That's all. I love EQ personally. Lou, you can like Eva Queen, you know. You can like Eva Queen. Everyone can like whoever they like on this app. I'm not going to slag you off for you liking someone that I dislike. You know, and that's cool. You know, we're all adults. We are all fucking adults at the end of the day. Look at what we all did last night. We need more of that. 100% we do. That's what I mean. And out of respect for last night is the reason why I didn't go live about all this shit. You know what I mean? Out of all the stuff that went on, this is the reason why I didn't go fucking live last night, because it wasn't fair. Because what would have happened is, we're talking about anti-bullying, and then I would have gone on live and started having a go at someone, and then someone would have go, oh yeah, but you're bullying and all that stuff. Let me tell you now, Angie's a twat. And it's as simple as that. I love EQ, but also love it in here. That's what I mean. Thank you, Bubbles. Thank you, Kitty Cat. Like, creators are gonna not get on from time to time, you know. Creators are just gonna fall out, or we're gonna argue and stuff like that. But you know as well as me, I'm petty as fuck. If you've done me wrong or done a friend wrong to a certain degree, I pull away and I'm like, nope, that shit's too far. Don't like it. Remember, my issue back in the day was obviously the stuff that was going on with friends of mine with Eva Queen, you know, but the turning point for me was the grape comment when she said that she hopes my whole community gets graped. That's where, for me, my mindset changed. And I thought, you know what? Nah, no chance. No chance. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Pixie. But like I said, everyone can support whoever they want. I think the problem... What's that, Jelly? The problem is need to stop believing. Yeah, you know what, Jelly? Yeah, you're right about that. Boss Lady Jojo, thank you. I think Corey and DA have found a mutual similarity. The thing is, like I said, Corey likes, you know, drama, carnage, and you know. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you, Boss Lady. And Delusive Angie, you know, I don't like Delusive Angie, but you know, we can't tell someone that they shouldn't like someone else. We're all human. Thank you, Boss Lady. Thank you. We're all literally human. We're gonna like different people. You know, it's just life. I don't say anything to Luke or Red because now they're being civil with Evil Queen. I've never spoke to them once off the app about Evil Queen. They could never come in this box now and tell yous that I've ever gone off the app and slated Evil Queen off to them. Because it has nothing to... My situation and my disagreement with someone has no involvement to friends. You know what I mean? If they've made a choice, that's their choice. You know, that's fine. It's nothing to do with me. And this is the difference. Yous lot get told lies on my name. A lot of you people get told shit on this app that say, oh, Alex is doing this. Zach the Brat was one of them. He used to go around the app saying Alex is behind the scenes, putting things in people's ears. Not at all. Not at all. I don't give two fucks. If you want to support someone, support them. It has nothing to do with me. And it doesn't change how I see you either. You know what I mean? Doesn't change it at all. Kitty Cat, thank you. Did Corey not say he didn't want drama no more since... Why is he doing this? The thing is, Kate Wars, is that something you'd have to ask Corey, mate? You know what I mean? That is something you'd have to ask Corey. I don't know how someone's mind works from time to time. So, you know, it is... How you doing? You okay, Kit Kat? Scott Slash, thank you. So for me, you know, when them questions come to me, I don't know how people are in the sense of how they are going to act on a day-to-day basis. Corey could wake up today and want war. You know, I don't know that. That's unpredictability, innit? Unpredictability of a character on someone on TikTok, innit? It's battle of the egos. Yeah, maybe that, you know what I mean? Both alpha, I'll call them alpha gays. Thank you, Kelly Mac. Thank you, Sally. I call Corey and Dan alpha gays. They are gay men, but they're also trying to be macho gay men as well. As much as, you know, they're all like fucking, you know, Dan goes off on his stilettos and all this stuff. But they are, you know, they always want to put their point across. So I call them alpha gays. Thank you, Yogi. Thank you, Nanny Lisa. And that's just how it is. So them two went back down and it'll just be back and forth. But to be fair, like Corey said, like he's kind of waved his white flag apparently. So it is what it is, isn't it? What's that say? How many signatures did the petition Henry? I think it's on nearly 12k, I think, Nikki. I think it's on nearly 12k. It was well over 11k last night. Tanya, thank you. My opinion is leave them and don't get involved. Yeah, Gene, you know what I mean? You know me, mate. If I can resolve something, I'll try to resolve it. I'm just that way, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I can't apologise, but I'm just that way. You know, it's hard, but if I can just literally, you know, if I can stop something escalating into getting worse, I'll try and help. You know what I mean? Kitty Cat, thank you. It's on 12.2 now. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. 12.3. Fucking hell. Thank you, everyone. Kez, I'm alright, you know. Obviously, I got a fucking little bit of a chesty cough and all that stuff, but I'm alright, you know. Karen, thank you. I know, Alex, but you get hurt. But the thing is, like, if you want me to be totally honest with you, if they then turn on me, then that more fool them, innit? More fool them. Because I'm not going to, like, you know, bow my head down and let people come at me, because I don't think anyone wants that. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking in that, you know, I'm not thinking about that at the moment. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, Hayley, hopefully everything's okay, mate. I hope she's okay. Fucking hell, kids will be kids, mate. Fucking always getting in fucking dramas, aren't they? But yeah, let me know how she is, hey. Corey and Dan need to finish it. It's not good for any of them. Yeah, it's not good for the communities, though, either. Sometimes people like drama, but like I said, when traumas are being mentioned, grape this, grape that, and you know, family members getting shown and all this stuff, none of it's right. Thank you, Insane. Thank you. Because sometimes you have to think about your community. I guarantee you now, if I was going back and forth with someone and children were being mentioned and grape was being mentioned and all this stuff and DV was being mentioned, this would become horrible life to be in, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be right. It's draining and boring. Exactly, Yvonne. It's draining. You know what I mean? I'll be back on studio. I'll be back on studio tomorrow, and what I'll do is you know, we'll bring back a bit of the, you know, the wind up, the funny side of TikTok. I won't get involved. Do you know what it is? I'm just that way. You know, I can't apologise because it's just me as a person. Thank you, Frangelico. How are we, Susan, Kitty Cat? Thank you for pinning the petition, guys. Creators ask for support. Yeah, it is what it is. Desert Rose, thank you, mate. Appreciated. Thank you for the heart me's, guys, and all the populars. I appreciate it. That's what we need, a laugh. Yeah, of course. Amy, thank you. Yeah, guys, if you want to just spam the petition, I'd appreciate that as well, thank you. Oh, when I don't know, it's crazy, I'm getting whiplash. It is, and it is. And that's why people come into my room, you know, because I don't flip-flop. I don't flip-flop. I'll read a situation, I'll give you my opinion, and then I move on. You know. I'll move on from the situation. Can we talk about how selfish Delusive was? Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Becky. 1 second, guys. I'm back, guys, and can we have some more videos like the Jaws one? I've got so much, Narissa, do you want me to tell you now? I have got so much planned. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Nikki. Danielle, thank you. I've got so much planned, right, for characters and things I'm going to be bringing in. I've even got I didn't realise I could do this. I've even got an AI layout stuff where there's going to be like an intro of something of some sort as well that I'll be doing on the studio, which is going to be absolutely hilarious. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I could be on Drama Talk going at creators 24/7, and they could never come back to me. Do you know why? It's because I've got no skeletons in my closet, believe it or not. But a lot of creators that, you know, have an opinion on me and coming for me, I know that they have skeletons because I know the skeletons. People say that, Alex, every day you go on live, it's drama. Yeah, okay. Do you know why it's drama? Because people bring me into drama. Nobody can come on this app today and show. Do you know what? I'll give any single person on this app now, right, any amount of money if they can show me a video where I've instigated a drama. I'll wait for it. Show me a video today where ever in the history of me being on TikTok where I've instigated a drama. You won't find one. I challenge you. Mish, thank you, Lynette. Remember that. I can have it. Remember, no shit, Sherlock. Good morning, mate. Just because, you know, if I see a situation, I call it out. It's not me starting a drama. I mean, you need to understand that. It's me having an opinion on the situation. If you making a drama and fire shots at me, that's not me starting the drama. That's you. I'm just having an opinion on the situation. I ain't firing shots at you. I ain't saying that you're this, you're that. Sean, I know shit, Sherlock, thank you. I just react, and that's all it is. I react to a situation. If people fire shots, they fire shots, and it's exactly that. They fire shots, I'll end it. No shit, Sherlock, thank you. It was like the old situation with Zach the Brat. Prime example. Everyone was going around the app saying, oh my God, Alex is going after Zach the Brat. But you tell them the reason why. It was the fact is you woke up at 7:30 in the morning and started mentioning my name, slagging me off, saying about, I'm this, I'm that. And then I went live and hammered you. And then it was like, oh my God, fucking hell, Alex, yet again, the Click and Alex are going after Zach the Brat. And I'm like, you's all delusional. Thank you, Polly. He went live in the morning, absolutely dragged me. I responded, and I'm the bad guy. Grow up, man. Absolutely grow up. Fucking weak people, man. Weak individuals. Yes, show the action, not the reaction. It's mad. I remember Zach doxed and Alex was a gambling addiction saying it was, oh, do you remember that, Queen Regina? Do you remember that? Oh, guys, let's all go back to that. Zach doxed someone and said, this is Alex. He's a gambling addict. What was it? Yeah, look, this is his portfolio. This is Alex. He's a gambling addict. And I was like, okay. And the date on it was 1989 or something, or 1987. And I was like, what? I was a gambling addict at 4 years old in a fucking... I was in the casinos at 4 years old gambling. And I was like, oh my God, Zach, you are an absolute arse, man. Like, honestly, he literally went live and said, yeah, this is Alex. And I was like, Zach, this person here was winning competitions in casinos in 1989. Oh, Queen Regina, it was fucking comedy, weren't it? So yeah, apparently, guys, I was 4 years old in casinos winning poker competitions. You know what I mean? Fuck you know, you can't make this shit up from time to time. But that's what I mean. He used to try to dox me and do all this mad stuff. He literally was chatting to two girls they were saying that they had relations with me, and there was had conversations with me, and they were saying some fucked up shit. I have proof of that, Zach. I just haven't brought it out. You know what I mean? Call me a liar and I'll out it. Call me a liar today on your live, and I'll out it. I make you look like the clown that you actually are. Thank you, Kitty Cat. So, you're a time traveller? Oh, yeah, apparently, Apparently I'm a time traveller going back in time, playing getting in casinos in 1989. Lisa, thank you. We played bingo with adults at Christmas, but yeah, that's what I mean. Sam, thank you. How did you win? I need tips, Alex. Do you want me to tell you how to win, Katrina? You know what I mean? Be 4 years old in casinos. I don't know. I wonder if I wore a fake moustache. I wonder if when I was 4, did anyone take me in there with a fake moustache? I reckon I'd pull it off. Thank you, Donna. Morning, guys. Was you wearing that red duffel? Oh, my God. Don't talk about the red duffel, Becky. Jesus Christ. Do you know what it is? I'm going to get some more baby photos for you, and I'm going to show you how long my hair was. Because my mum didn't want a boy. My mum wanted a girl. She was going to call me Scarlet. Can you believe that? My mum was going to call me Scarlet if I was a fucking Scarlet Jane. Scarlet Jane was going to be my name if I was a woman. Madness, isn't it? Yeah, so she grew my hair, had long ass hair. You know what I mean? Down to my back. I look like fucking Kevin Keegan. I was always naked anyway. I don't know how, right, my mum is going to ever find any baby photos of me, because apparently all I used to do is I used to have my Corey out and my fucking jelly sandals on. That's what she said to me. She went, Alex, when you was a baby, all you used to do is walk around with your jelly sandals out and have your thingy out. So I don't know if any photos I can really show. So, and don't even laugh about the jelly sandals, because we all had them jelly sandals. You know what I mean? So, it is. Oh, big up Sam. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Geordie. Thank you, guys. Polly, thank you. Not much change then. Do you know you can get... I was going to do that as a laugh, because you can buy adult jelly sandals as out change. Luke, definitely. Definitely changed. But yeah, you can get adult jelly sandals. I was going to get size 11 jelly sandals for a crack, for a laugh the one day. Thank you, Claire. And reminiscing, when you reenact... Oh, no, I couldn't do that. You know what? People would be stirring that on the app as well. Imagine that, when people reenact baby photos and stuff, and there's me standing starkers in jelly sandals. Can you imagine that? What colour? Well, from what I remember, there was like glittery. There was like clear and glittery. That's from the pictures I remember as a baby. The ones I've seen, there was like clear and had a bit of glitter on them. Oh, you couldn't do that. Imagine that. I'm just standing there in jelly sandals and that. Fuck, I had the clear glitter ones. That's the ones, just actually, that's the ones I've seen on my baby photos. You had glitter pink. Told you, man. My mum was raising me to be LGBT. New OF content. The man with jelly sandals is giving Brigham calendar idea. Imagine that. No, I wouldn't do that. The blisters are from my feet. It's what I mean. You know what I mean? Do you know what it is for me? As much as, we're on drama talk, I like reminiscing about old times, I do. I absolutely love reminiscing about old times. Because I look back at my childhood and I think, you know what? I had a fucking amazing childhood as a kid. I had fucking... Oh, do you know what? I had a good life, man, as a kid, And I look at society now and I look at the kids today and I think, you know what? Yous lot I've got it so bad now in 2025. I used to cry when I was young to come inside the house. I used to scream. I used to say, no, I don't want to go in. I want to play out with my friends and all this stuff. And I think back now, you know what? Kids now get dragged out. Punishments now going out the house. It's crazy. My kids had shower suits. Oh, do you remember the Fat Willie's tops? Does anyone remember the brand Fat Willie's, and then you had no Fear and you had all that stuff? Remember that? Traitor Claire, thank you, Bluebell. Being out was fantastic. Hours on end, 100%. Yeah, Cole Carney and all that stuff. Fucking hell, man. So I mean, reminiscing on the old days. Kids go out now, most likely won't be coming back. It's a shame, innit? That's it for Surf Shack, yeah. Sweater shop. Fat Willie Surf Shack, yeah. I remember it all, man. Only home for food. Yeah, exactly that. Is there a shop in Newquay, Shazilla? Because it is a surf shop, isn't it? So, playing in mud. To be honest with you talk about playing in mud. I used to eat mud as a kid. You know what I mean? They're making your mud pies and stuff. You know, I had a good life, man. You know. I did, man. Life changes very fast, though, you know. And then you grow up and, you know, and you go a certain way. Kim, thank you. Do you know, thank you, Danielle. I'm thankful for the area that I grew up in as well. It kind of manned me up as well. It got to the big up, Lisa, mate. Thank you, Lisa. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. You know, I grew up in a tough neighbourhood, and to be fair, it kind of give me the foundations of the man I am today. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. What is it saying? What's it saying? Why does it keep saying I'll become a super fan again? I don't know, Therapeutic Junkie. I ain't got a clue, mate. D's and because let me tell you now, right, from where I grew up and that, he was a rough area. But I'm thankful for it because, you know, like I said, it made me the person I am today. And I don't take no shit. I take no shit from nobody. Off the app, on the app. You like, I'm so different off the app, you know, like my life now is so relaxed and balanced. 10 years ago, my life was hectic. My life was, you know, totally different. I was living in 100 mile an hour. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm happy the man that I've turned out now. 10 years ago I was a twat. I ain't gonna lie, I was a right twat. You know, I was very egotistical, you know, thought every lady loved me. I was just an horrible bastard, I ain't even gonna lie. Absolutely horrible. And I'll always be honest, you know. I'll always be honest with you about my life and what I've gone through and stuff like that, because I don't need to lie, you know what I mean? Because I can prove everything I say. I was 10 years ago a cunt. Horrible. Not to the extent of like being nasty to women or anything like that, but I was egotistical. I was a proper narcissist 10 years ago. I thought I was the be all and end all, you know, and then you realise you absolutely grow up and you think to yourself, what are you doing, man? You know, what the fuck are you doing, you know? And then you realise you know better than anyone else. You are exactly the same as everyone else. You learn. The death of my nan is what moulded me to be the person that I am. You know what I mean? Losing my nan, who was my absolute queen, like, it's hard to fathom, you know. Losing my nan is what has made me now the person I am. Because the family kind of fell apart when my nan died, because she was the person that brought everyone together. Yeah, it's just hard, man. It is, because, like I said, I ain't changing for nobody. You know, it's as simple as that. I ain't changing for nobody. I'm happy that the person I am now, you know, my life's so chilled out and, you know, off the app and that now, I don't try to cause any problems or have any arguments with people. Like I said, when there's people saying to me on this app, oh, I'm turning up, I'm coming to your door and all stuff, that stuff. Let me tell you now, like, you need to understand, if you are really intentionally coming to my parents' door and wanting to cause harm, just remember that you are only leaving one way, and it isn't walking, and it isn't alive. And that is a promise to you all. If you step through that door, and you need to realise, like I said, maybe do a bit of fucking research before you're shouting your mouth out about people on an app when you don't know them. All I'm saying is, and this is a fact, and I'll say this and I'll swear on everybody I love now, may they drop down dead. If you purposely come through any door in my household, you are never leaving. Because I will lock the door and you will never leave. And that is a fact. And I promise you that. Did you see the stuff about dancing? Yeah, Kat, I've seen it. You know, I ain't going to lie. I've seen it, a little bits and bobs about it. I will be addressing that. I need to go through the rest of it because someone was sending me something else over. So I don't really want to talk about too much of it until I've got everything, you know. So, and this is what I mean. Like I said, people don't know people on the app, and I understand that. You know, I'm in my era now of calmness. I wanna enjoy people's friendships. I wanna have a laugh. I wanna interact, and you know. But I'll always be honest. If you ever have a question for me about what I've been through or anything like that, or you want to know anything, I will fucking 100% tell you and be honest with you. I've got no reason to lie to you. And everything, everything I can be honest and tell you about it. I can prove it as well. I can prove it. You know. Oh, something come up there. Why did it come up then? Someone tried to get in the box. Kelly Marie, good morning, Kat. Funny enough, do you know who I had a conversation with last night? I spoke to Frankie. Frankie gave me a call yesterday and I had a conversation with him. And you know, Frankie 360 he does the shops and stuff. You know him anyway. He's been around my platform. He's a friend of mine off the app. I've known him a long time. And I had a conversation with him last night, and we was talking about like the old times and things that have happened. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's mad that people on TikTok speak to me and don't realise the shit that I've seen and been through. You know, and he said, and like we've had fucking rough lives, man. Yeah, okay, we've come from good family backgrounds, and you know, I mean, well, Frankie a little bit different. You know, that's his place to talk. But me, I've had a loving household, loving family, you know, and all that, a really good family. But we've seen and been through some fucking shit, man. You know what I mean? We want to talk to Mother Brigham. Thank you, Nicola. You know what I mean? I've seen some stuff that you'd only see on movies. You know, and it's scary to think that way, that you only know someone for how they betray and how they come across on an app. I could tell you some stuff now that would literally make the milk turn sour, that'd probably make you all be in tears. But that's what's moulded me today, and that's why I'm mentally strong. Yeah, okay. You know, there's been a couple of times you've seen me emotional on the app, and do you know why? It's because I wear my heart on my sleeve, and it's because of the stuff that I've been through in life, you know what I mean? That has moulded me. But now in life now, I'm happy. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Sarah. I'm happy. I've got people that I care about around me. I've got people, you know, that I love, and that's just how it is. I'm happy the way I am now. And it's took me so long. There's certain things about my life I need to change, 100%. Like there's a lot around my life that I need to change for myself and for others. But me being a bad person is not one of them. Georgia Kaz, one of them is that I'm not a bad person. And if I could help people, I help people. That's how it is. No shit, Sherlock, Joanne, thank you. And I ain't gonna change for no one. We all have our buck in us. Yeah, 100%. That's what I mean. And that's why I said, like, if anyone ever needed to ask any advice or needed to speak to me or wanted to ask me a question about my life, I'd be honest. I got no reason to lie. Want to give me 4K? I got a message. Frankie's sleep out. He loves you to bits and always there if you need. Yeah, I know, Amy, mate. It was good to have a reminisce yesterday. Obviously, on the phone call, it was funny. You know, it's good to have a reminisce, you know, Amy. You know, when you talk about stuff that's happened, it's fucked up, man. Michelle, thank you. Because, like I said, it was only literally, guys, about, how many weeks ago now? I think it was 2 weeks ago. A lad that I know off the app who's a friend of mine come through the app and said, who's slagging you off? And he said in the chat saying who, and a lot of people said, who is this guy? And I had to tell him, oh, it's just someone that I know and that. When I was arguing on live and stuff with another lad, and he was saying to me, phone me after the live and that, we'll get in the van and we'll put him in the van. And you's like thinking that's a joke. But the person that messaged it in the fucking chat is 100% serious. You know what I mean? And this is where you don't realise, like, when there's people talking on an app, that, you know, this is people's real life. When he said in this chat, I'll pick you up and we'll go in a van, he 100% meant it. 100%. And I know he's about that. And I was thinking, oh my God, for me, I don't want any of this. I'm happy with TikTok arguments, you know. I'm happy with, you know, having a back and forth if I need to, or having my opinion and all that stuff. But people need to realise I come from a world of, that's real life, remember that. But not anymore. I don't socialise with that sort of people no more. I'm friends with them still. I'll have conversations, but that is not my life. I wouldn't be involved in that stuff, you know. I don't agree with it. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. My life is very similar, Alex. That's what I mean, Tatty Toffee. You see me as fucking just like someone that comes on the app and whinges and moans. Let me tell you now, I've seen some fucked up shit. I'm not going to go into it, but, you know, I've seen some fucked up shit. Let me tell you now. I've seen some stuff that would make you cry, you know. So, I don't know that for a fact. I went to Birmingham once. No offense, never again. And Harrod, let me tell you now, no offense taken, because I don't like Birmingham and how it is at the moment myself. I love my city. I am proud of my city, but the way Birmingham's situated now, I don't like it. You know, especially when veterans and homeless people are getting turned away from hotels and thingy for people coming into the country. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer in. I believe in helping others, but I also believe in help the people that built the foundations of our country now. Why would we turn our back on veterans, right, that help build the foundations of our country now, and help people first that from other countries? Elaine, thank you for that as well, for the smiles on a moped. You know, help our own first. I'm always like that. I'm also up for helping other people. Don't get it twisted, from, you know, war-torn countries. But I think about us first. Because there's veterans and old people today that can't afford to fucking put gas in their houses. Remembrance Day today, 100%. 100% it's Remembrance Day today. Least we forget, you know. And that's what I mean. Did any of you see that video of that old gentleman talking? Did any of you see that guy, when that guy was being interviewed? Was it on Good Morning or something, or whatever it was? Did anyone see that, and how heartbroken he was? He said that I lost loads of people, loads of friends, and look what the country's like now. That was heartbreaking. And the person I was sitting with, I was emotional. I ain't gonna lie. I was to watch that now. Watch a man that literally spoke out, and he must have seen some shit in his life, you know, going through war and stuff. And it's true. It's bullshit. This country is absolutely fucking bullshit. That's all it is. Give me a second. Michaela, thank you. Yeah, I felt for him as well. I felt for him massively. It's sad. Red Robin, Michaela, thank you. Alex, are you doing a 2-minute silence at 11 a.m? Well, I probably won't be on at 11 a.m. because Donna's gone live and she Elaine. So I normally watch Donna in the morning, but what I'll do is, guys, right? Thank you, Lulu. I'm all right. I'm all good. Where am I in the popular anyway? Let me have a little check. Give me a second. Number 4. That's brilliant, nice. What I'll do is, guys, I'm going to jump off now. I'll fire straight back up after Miss Red. Stay on, Kit Kat. Do you know what it is? I want to go and see Miss Red and Dave have a name change. Is that today? Is the name change battle today? Shazzy Lou, yes, thank you, mates, thank you. Oh, let me just check. Oh, she declined. Miss Loads of Drama. Yeah, 11 a.m. Oh, okay. Oh, they didn't show on my screen. Oh, thank you, Shazilla. See you later, Emily, mate. I like Dave. Yeah, I like Dave. I think he's sound. I never, like I said, me and Dave used to have a hate relationship back in the day. But you know what? The more you get to speak to him and that, you know, I think he's sound. I like Dave. I like his no shit approach. I like his, you know, say how it is. Thank you, Kitty Cat. Yeah, 11 o'clock. I seen it, you know. I seen the post, but then I clicked on the on Dave's videos and I couldn't see it. I didn't used to like Dave, but I proper like him now. Amber, thank you. Yeah, I like him. I think he's hilarious. I do. I think Dave, when I jump in his lives at night time, it's funny, and the way he talks to Darren, and that Darren is clueless. Honestly, it's fucking. Do you know what happens is he trolls Darren. But Darren doesn't realise it. It's funny as fuck. Elaine, thank you, mate. Red's put a story up. Oh, okay. Yeah. You don't like Dave? That is fine. That is your opinion. I ain't going to slate you off for not liking Dave. It's up to you, isn't it? But what I'm going to do then, guys, I'm going to jump down now. But I'll come back live after Donna. You know what I mean, guys? And we'll continue what we were saying. So after Donna... You know, we'll do a bit of Cam 2 and Chaos. All right, guys. So about 12ish, I'll be back live. All right, guys. Thank you for all the populars. Thank you for all the love, for the heart me's, the mods. Thank you for being in here as well. And everyone else that's been up and just had a chill and chat, guys. But I appreciate you all, and I'll catch you about 12ish. All right. Thank you all, and I'll see you in a bit. Thank you.